So welcome to this session. I think we'll have a relatively smaller class, which is fine for some of us. We'll get used to our DE students. You may see on the slide that it's a main campus slide that I'm sharing, but that's only because we are trying as much as possible to give you the same content, not to water anything down. So you'd see that City Campus is using the same set of slides because it's the same course. And so the standards are the same. The topic for lecture 1 is thoughts as object of scrutiny. My name is Dr. Nancy Miles Jimfi. There is a bar 4 there, but then that makes it too long. So I like to shorten it. But if you saw it anywhere, it's the same name. I teach with the University of Ghana. I suspect you will know that already. Excuse me. I'm currently the coordinator of the course, UGRC 150 Critical Thinking and Practical Reasoning. And last semester, the main chunk of UGRC 150 students for DE took the course. So I think your batch is a mop-up, just a relatively smaller group. I'm told it's diploma to degree students who, because of the nature of their admission, they are unable to do level 100. So even though they are in level 200, but they have to take this level 100 class, because the course is a university required course. Everyone coming into the university is required to take the UGRCs. They are University of Ghana required courses. And I suspect that last semester you would have taken academic writing, which is UGRC 110. And second semester, you are taking the UGRC 150. So that is by way of introduction. The topics that we will discuss are scheduled in the textbook, the University of Ghana required course, Critical Thinking and Practical Reasoning. It has a required textbook with the same colors as the screen you see, blue and yellow. I suspect that you would have gone to your course outline, so you would have seen it. But if you haven't, then let me stop sharing the slides and let's go to Sakai quickly. We shouldn't take anything for granted. We want to make sure you are really ready for the course, and then we can hold you accountable for what you should have done or what you shouldn't have done. So I'm going quickly to my Sakai to show you your way around. Now, I am seeing a relatively bigger number, maybe 41, but currently the number I see online is not up to that. That's not a good sign. Either someone is not reading their emails or they are not getting it in the first place, or they are not coming to the course site, or they don't understand the Sakai system. What you see up here is my course site. I have quite a number of courses. So this is your course site highlighted in yellow here that I'm pointing to. UGRC 150, 30 for distance education, S2 for second semester, this 21, 22. Because it's not a big class, we didn't need to group you. So you still use your mother course site at 30. Last semester was relatively different. So just in case you have taken some ideas from last semester, then it doesn't apply here because all of you are on just one group site, one site. So it will just be the course site. But last semester, we had to pull people because it was a class of over 2,000, I think close to 3,000. And all of them can't be in one class. So there were 6 lectures, and you would see then that this would have been UGRC 150, 31, or 32, or 33, showing that 30 for the DE student, yes. But which group at DE? Oh, group 1. So that would have been 31, group 2, 32, and all that. Doesn't apply to you now. So you shouldn't be sending me an email asking for your group. You are already on the main course site, and that is all you need. This is where you will go to, which is what you see currently on your course site if you registered for the course. Okay, so you will go there and access every information. So if I went there now, as I've done now, the first thing you should do, my dear friends, you go to the overview 2, which we are going to do together. at overview, you would see the course outline. And I'm sure that by now you know what we mean by course outline. Just in case you have a question, then you kindly raise your hand. I will see it, and then I'll give you the opportunity to ask your question. Okay. So if you went to the course outline, you see all these UGRC 150 second semester, blah blah blah. It's a distance education program. And then the course code is UGRC. Please don't write UGCS. It's UGRC 150. The credits are 3 hours. That's why there is a tutor who would also take you in some of the sessions. Then because we don't have too many lecturers, you won't struggle much. The official tutor, listen to me attentively, please. Because of the nature of DE programs and the way sometimes students get stranded with accurate information, they don't know which information they are getting that is official from the lecturer and the examiner for the course. Everyone is saying something somewhere on a certain platform for DE students. It can get frustrating sometimes. So I'm communicating all these for clarity, not just because I'm the lecturer and the examiner for you for this semester, but also because I coordinate the course, and some of the concerns that come, are very worrying. So we don't want you getting, astray, whatever, getting led astray for weeks before you get to the correct information. The gentleman whose name you see here, I'm not sure he's currently online, I'll check. But this gentleman with the name Peter AJ Jr., this is his email. He has created a WhatsApp platform that I asked that he circulates on the Sakai platform to make it official so that you will know that this is a sanctioned tutor for the course. That means he knows what we are expecting of you because he's working with the lecturer and the examiner. He knows how we will examine you. He knows what we want to communicate. Not that someone has taken the content or has done it before and so feels that he or she is authorized to give you what they think would come. And if you went that way and you didn't do well, then you don't blame the course instructors or administrators. Okay, so that is Peter AJ Jr. He's the only sanctioned tutor for your group, which is this semester's UGRC 150 for DE. There isn't any other. Last semester we had 6 of us, and so each had a tutor. So if there is any question with that, you can ask me. I don't see a hand up yet, so I presume there is no question. So I'll go ahead to put clarity to some matters. May I have one of you read what the course description is? I'll try and minimize this. Oh dear. Any one of you, please put up your hand and read the course description quickly if you can see it. Anyone quickly. Thank you, Alfred. Go ahead. Please unmute and read.
Okay. Course description.
Yes.
Critical thinking is the careful, deliberate determination of whether we should accept, reject, or suspend judgment about a claim and of the degree of confidence with which to accept or reject it. Critical thinking operates according to rational standards, in that beliefs and claims are evaluated by how well they are supported by reasons. This course will introduce learners to the methods and principles used to distinguish good, correct from bad, incorrect reasoning. The course will provide concepts and techniques that are required to be employed in critical thoughts and practice within the academic arena and everyday life. It also aims at giving learners these tools to be able to critically analyze and distinguish between various types of discourse, reasoning, and belief.
Excellently done. Thank you, Sir Alfred. So
Thank you,
if you
ma'am.
had already even engaged the slides that I put at resource 2, then you see that I picked stuff from the course description, put them together in a summary form to help your understanding of what critical thinking is, at least as presented by University of Ghana and put into a course book, a textbook that you are supposed to go through regardless of the course you are doing. There's a reason why. Apart from academic writing, the university says you must also pass a course in critical thinking and practical reasoning before you can be given a degree by the University of Ghana. We don't care what other discipline you actually came to do. Maybe you came to do law, business, medicine, nursing, teaching, drumming and dancing, music. We don't care. The university says, regardless of that discipline, every one of us who wants a degree, an honorary degree from the University of Ghana, must have taken that course in critical thinking and not just pass with any pass. An E won't pass for critical thinking. You have to get at least a D. D for Daniel. The worst grade you should get is a D. Otherwise, you take it again and again and again and again. Why? There has to be a reason. We are learning to feed the public with content, to make impact, to change situations. If I'm doing medicine, it's because I want to know how to deliver health to people. If I'm learning politics, it's because I want to know how to administer resources and human beings and structures and put up systems to help facilitate the well-being. There's a reason why you have come to school to acquire a certain knowledge. Now, your ability to critically reflect and practically reason to solve problems of existence is what critical thinking seeks to equip you with. We'll go through the slides and see that you are not just being developed in your human skills, the skill of communication, effective communication, the skill of analysis. You're able to break down matters, diagnose to find what the issues are and open them out and expose the problems so that they can be dealt with. Evaluation, assessment. You are developing those skills. And so we'll equip you with tools that will help you. Now, what is the focus, like your friend Alfred read? So that you are able to suspend judgment until you are a certain degree of confidence, certain degree of what? I don't want to say certainty yet, but until you have a certain degree of confidence in the view you are holding on to. You do not just join the fray and say, hey, is this one or it's not that one. Whether it's in religion, whether it's in business, politics, like I said, human situations of all kinds. It's important that before you hold on to or reject a view, before you accept or reject a dogma, a principle, a certain supposed truth, you would have made the necessary, assessment, evaluation, thinking through, and then more importantly, proffer better options. That this package is what we are going to help ourselves work on. Naturally, we are thinkers already. Every human being thinks. But do we all reason? Reasoning is not necessarily thinking. So we'll see that when we engage the content. But more importantly, even where we all reason, do we reason at the same level? Oh, he was the last person who left the room. So I think you should ask him. I have never been caught stealing. Why are you saying I'm the one who stole? Well, this might be your first time. So don't tell us that at the law court and think that we are impressed. A little critical thinker like myself will tell you, hold on. The fact that you have never been caught stealing doesn't mean you cannot be caught stealing today. Today may be your first time. Hello. So if you come and you are, all over the place, I'm going to ensure that the nation is developed. That's why I'm here to propose development to the people, to project it. That we ask you, thank you very much. But what do you mean when you say develop or development? What is this Mpuntujuma that I want to give us, the development that I want to give us? This is to say a question to our fine politicians that want to help us organize our society. See, so we ask you that there's development is to embark on developmental projects, ensure that the nation is developed, like the developed nation. This brother said nothing. He hasn't said nothing, my friend will say. He's just using language, playing on people. A critical mind must raise an objection respectfully, but very direct. You have to tell them, you said nothing. We don't understand development. So we want you to help us know what development is, because that is what you are going to give us. This is what you have put in your speech or your whatever, So tell us what it is. Put content to it. Oh, you shouldn't marry from that place. So I've moved from politics and I'm going somewhere in language use and the way people are thinking and reflecting about matters. I asked, you see, I sent you some slides there. And if you looked at it, you see that I'm touching on things I've put there. I even sent you links to recordings. They are all there. I'll show you in a minute. If you never explored the site, then you want to do that for subsequent weeks. So we have a very wonderful time. You just don't finish and pass and get a good grade that we all want you to get. But you rather also, in addition, get what? Inspired. Let the education make you first. Then whatever comes with it will come. But it shouldn't be that you got an A and yet you are not critically thinking about anything. You are not practically reasoning about anything. You are still the same nurse that sits there at the corner there when they are bringing a sick person, and you are more concerned about your bed sheet that you asked the cleaner to wash, which they are making dirty. You are more concerned about that than the sick person that has been brought there desperately needing help. You see, the critical thinking did nothing. You are not practically reasoning about anything. You are still wearing the green and white or brown or whichever fine dress you have, but you are not a nurse, essentially speaking, because a nurse must look at the name. You are a nurse there, then you must nurse the thing. See, ceremony, make it good. If you are critically thinking about what you have been called to be or what you have vouched to be as a medical doctor, for example, then you wouldn't expose your patient to what? Danger. You have sworn an oath to ensure beneficence. What you do must benefit the patient. You have sworn an oath not to disclose the patient's information without their permission, patient confidentiality. So you want to ensure that that is what you are doing. How is it then that all of a sudden the patient's information is public news? How did it get out? So if you are a lawyer, you are thinking critically. I'm moving from politics to church to the lawyer, to another place, the marketer, to evangelism, for you to see why the course is topic neutral, which you have seen already, all from just one description that Alfred read for us, for you to understand what we are doing. And then now when we tell you the goal, the objectives, the outcomes, then they sit well with you. And then you are ready to give us practical, illustrative answers to the questions we ask you. And you get your A and you go. But then when you go, you are able to impact society. Okay? So I'm just saying that if you are a lawyer and your evidence is that, look, these are my videos showing that the guy corrupted himself. Look at him handing over money to someone. See, we caught him red-handed. The sister was right on top of the man. The man has committed what is it? The man has been infidel. Oh yeah, we have found him to be an infidel. Really? What's your evidence? See the secretary lying right on top of him at the poolside. Look at him. They are all not wearing it. If this woman is wearing her swimsuit, the man to and the secretary is on top of her, mouth to mouth, stomach to stomach, leg to leg. Oh really? So what's your conclusion? We caught him red-handed. He was holding the phone. The phone that was missing at the station there. One more amojulo. So instant justice. Really? You should think. Think critically. Instant justice may never, I say may because of some people's posture, but in fact it should be, can never be sanctioned. Mob justice, or if you like, instant justice. We saw him. I don't care. Jimmy Wong. I saw her red-handed. So what? So what? You have concluded? What if he found the phone lying on the floor? Just when he picks it up and tells the brother, see, I saw this phone. Whose is it? They say Julo. They say thief, thief. Ewi on mine. He's telling, I didn't steal. You won't even listen because you say you saw him gani, but you have seen things. You thought you saw a pool of water on the stretch when you were driving. Until you got closer, it was a mirage. There was nothing there. Because of the hot sun, the reflection showed a pool of water. Okay. You thought you heard your daughter speaking behind, or your friend or mother speaking behind the building. Mommy, mommy is coming. The person comes and it is another person. Hey, I thought it was mommy. You have heard things. It was false. You saw things. They were false. So it's not enough as a critical mind, from what Alfred read, to immediately jump and make an assessment. You need to carefully take note of the word. It's a careful, deliberate. It is deliberate, not that you can't join the fray, but you deliberately suspend judgment and ask pertinent questions. See? Until you are convinced with reasoned grounds why you accept or reject the claim you are making. That way, even if you went wrong, you know that you did a thorough critical evaluation. That is what we seek to help you do. So you see that the course goal is to teach and learn on the screen now, if you are looking, conceptual clarity, effective speaking, sound reasoning. Sound. I will say to assume. The reasoning must to assume, you know. Otherwise, you did nothing. And we are doing that for career and life goals generally. Okay. What are objectives? Let's see if someone else can read the learning of the course objectives for us quickly. So if you want to, kindly put up your hand. Thank you, Alfred. I want someone else. All these are questions that you're going to answer on them. Quickly, please. Anyone wants to read the course objectives for us? Put up your hand quickly. Okay, so you can read that on your own when you go. I think no one wants to. Then we move quickly. Learning outcomes. I touch on one or two of them. Clarity. How to reason, the different modes of reasoning. If I told you that the bachelor living next door to us has beaten his wife mercilessly, the woman's face is all, caricatured, so to speak. And so I am going to give evidence at court. A bachelor living next door, what did he say he has done? Beating his wife? Really? I'm talking about different modes of reasoning here. Some of the things we are discussing, you don't need to see. You can reason about the matter without even observation. It's called deduction. You can deduce from what has been said that this one can never be true. So you don't need to even go and observe. You don't need to leave your office and go and do any field investigation. You don't need to. If the person tells you the bachelor has beaten his wife mercilessly and hurt her, and so you have evidence to prove that, do you even need a court sitting? This was already false. Bachelors cannot beat their wives because they don't have wives. It's in the language. So this one I can deductively throw out the case if I were a chief justice and or a judge. People will say I've taken bribe. It's not bribe. What you are saying cannot happen. Not in this world, not in the world to come. It is in the language. If you say he is a bachelor, then why do you have all the dossier evidence to prove that he has beaten his wife? How? That's the problem. Okay, so if you knew this and you are a good lawyer, you tell the person that they won't even sit on it. This case you are taking to court, it won't even be engaged. I'm just using a trivial example to make the point. Of course, no one will directly speak that way, but it is the contradiction that I'm trying to point out. If he's a bachelor, then he cannot beat his wife. Someone will say, I was not there. When I was listening to the election petition recently, I heard something. I was so shocked. I never saw the whatever, was it pink sheet this time or something? I never saw the electoral whatever sheet. That I've never even seen it before. That day when they were even collating, I was not even there. Then before the person finishes speaking, he said, oh, actually, I was there. But the thing is, I didn't touch it. Charlie, confused. Sometimes I say, why are you doing this to yourself? Contradictions everywhere. Contradiction, opposite language. There might be some substance in what the person is saying, but if you speak in a certain way, by our mode of reasoning, either you're using a deductive mode or an inductive mode, I already can tell. that this one didn't happen. Not because you are lying, but like the bachelor beating his wife matter that I mentioned, you cannot say that the sister wearing suit sitting at the back there in the church auditorium is totally naked. Then you clap your hands and say, what is becoming of us now? What is the problem? Say the sister sitting at the back there. What has she done? She's totally naked. Totally. You know how we say that? How can that happen? So you come and see. I won't see anything aligned. What I say is not true. It was true yesterday. It's true today. It will be true tomorrow. It is in the language. If she's wearing suit, then she cannot at the same time be totally naked. And the reason is simply because you don't mean it. But we have put in the slides there. If you really want to say that, oh, I just meant that she has exposed part of her body, say that. Okay, dear friends, because we want you to have the skill of what? Effective speaking. They are all on the slides, but these are just touch-ups for you. Speak effectively. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Why? Because if you say something and you tell us that, oh, I didn't mean what I said, then what you are telling me now, which is I didn't mean what I said, I shouldn't take you serious. Why? Because you just step out and say you didn't mean what you said. Again, for example, let's say Alfred, where is my screen? Let's say Alfred spoke to Ifia Anna. He was angry. So he tells you, Ifia Anna, tomorrow I will take that your life. I want something that is very, I'll kill you. You know how people say that. I'll kill him. So you open your mouth, all angles, say, Alfred, respectfully, I want to use you to make a point. You and Ifiana. You see, so he says that out of anger. Then, God forbid, the next day, the unfortunate happens. If we found our sister, I suppose, at the other side of this world, who will be the first person we will go and get? We'll go and get the person who opened the mouth to say that. Not because we say we have proven that he's so, but he'll be the start of our investigation. Like our current court issues that have become is all over the news now. Okay. Now, when we take him and he says, oh, I said that yesterday, but I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that I'll kill her. I just said it. In jest, or maybe I was angry. You were Now, should we now let you go because you said you didn't mean it? How are we supposed to accept your statement, I didn't mean it? Because you will just step out of the police station and go outside and go and tell your friends that what I told the police people, I didn't mean it. Because you don't mean what you say. So it will lead to an infinite regress if we accept I didn't mean it. Because you go and say, I didn't mean that, I didn't mean it. And even that, I didn't mean that, I didn't mean that, I didn't mean it. So it is what you said that will take you and hold you back. Mean what you say and say what you mean. We'll go to the slide shortly. I think things will fall in place for those who saw the slides. Therefore, if you are a critical mind, we want you to learn how to practice clarity, to define, to adopt and use the different modes of reasoning. Reason about matters. Sometimes you need observation to ascertain the conclusion. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes by the language yourself, you are able to tell. It can be true, or it couldn't have happened that way. Or if you said this and you said this, then it is necessarily true. If Barca and Real Madrid were playing a match, and you asked me which team will win, and I say, oh, Barca will win or Barca will not win, you haven't said anything. You will see it's a pseudo scientific statement, Unit 7. It's pseudo scientific. Barca will win or Barca will not win, but that is not informative. You said nothing. You didn't add anything to what we need. Yesterday, it was true that Barca will win or Barca will not win. Tomorrow, it is true that Barca will win or Barca will not win. Today, it is true that Barca will win or Barca will not win. Why? Because of the way you are speaking. So this one is necessarily true. The other examples I gave you, the bachelor and others, are necessarily false. Why? For the different reasons. If tomorrow comes and Barca plays and Barca wins, what you said that Barca will win or Barca will not win is true. If Barca plays tomorrow and they don't win, it is still true. If tomorrow doesn't come, if Jesus comes today, so tomorrow doesn't come, what you said is already true. It's called tautology. You see that. So what? So we are going to give you skills that will help you. Look on your screen now, please. Our projected learning outcomes. That is where we measure you. That's where we examine you. Every course outline you get in the university. Look at the learning outcomes. That is what is used to measure. If the lecturer didn't put learning outcomes, they look at the objectives. Object. What do we want to get to? Through the objectives, we'll finally achieve a goal, a big goal there. Okay. But the objectives are the measurable one, the step by step, content that I want you to have. I want you to meet that object. Okay. So you are supposed to be able to identify different types of language in use and recognize where logic applies and where it does not apply. Some of the instances, you cannot apply reasoning to it, logical reasoning, I mean, the rules of logic. It won't apply, you see. You should be able to differentiate a passage, a speech, that is an argument from the one that is just narrating or instructing or it's just emotions throughout. Hey, what kind of government is this? Why did we even vote for this? God will punish whoever who said. You said nothing. Empty, useless, quote and unquote language. When we are doing logic, in the context of logic, it is useless. Emotions, storytelling, that's narration, giving instructions left, right, center, don't help. Argue. What we need is an argument. So you have to know what an argument is. That will happen in unit 3. And then we use argumentation in units 6 and 7. I say units because I have a textbook in mind that I expect that you all will have it. If you don't have it, send me an email to procure one. The university has a required text for that. And as the coordinator, I've requested that they put some in my office for easy access for students. My office is at the philosophy department. I put it up there. See, that's my office. Philosophy department on main campus, room 23. My office hours are, okay, this one has to change because this semester I have lectures on Mondays. So this has to be Tuesdays, 12 to 4. 12 to 2, okay? But you send me an email, then we will know. If you're outside of Accra, then you can make an arrangement and get it sent to you. The book is currently 50 cedis. Don't pay 1 peso extra. That's how much the university sells it. It can't be more than that unless you want someone to pick for you and you have your own arrangement. So if you get it or you collect from a friend who had one last semester, has passed the course, is finished using it or whatever means you're able to have one, but you must reference that because that is how we learn. Otherwise, when I say unit this, you get frustrated. Okay, so I'm saying that the unit 6 and 7 then will engage what? Argument, which we are saying you must know. Now, the third learning outcome is what? Distinguishing between deductive and inductive methods of reasoning. I've already used examples to show you that as introduction. And then we will help you see fallacies. I think that I want my pony to be put on my forehead. That's Madame telling the hairdresser to put the pony forward at her forehead. So the madam said, okay, I'll do that for you. But why? And he said, well, that's what everybody is doing now. And and then it'll be yes, that's what everyone is. I mean, have you checked? I always ask students, if you are playing my videos, have you checked the size of your own forehead? How are you asking for what everybody does? The fact that everybody does something doesn't make it good in itself. Examples, most people, plenty people voted for a certain power. After 4 years or so, plenty people said what we said is wrong. We have changed it to another power. Even in Ghana here, Trump, everywhere. Plenty people said, crucify him, crucify him, crucify him. What happened? They crucified the savior. You see, the point we are making then is appealing to the masses, for example. That is one of the fallacious reasoning patterns, Unit 10. It's sick. It's a problematic way of thinking. If your only reason why you support a view is because plenty people say it is good, it's problematic. You should rather say plenty people see durability. So your focus is on the thing is durable, for example, see that. So that is why people are buying it. Then your focus is what? Its durability, not the number of people that follow it. Because the number of people following something doesn't make something right in itself. In fact, people follow others. They are all run. They see people run, then they also join. Join. Everybody is following to run. Then on the way, they ask, where are we going? They say, me too, I don't know. I saw people going, so I joined. You see, OBICAS syndrome doesn't work. It's called appeal to the masses. Some people appeal to pity, emotions. At a law court scenario, a child, someone apparently had killed both of his parents. And then when he was going to be sentenced to death, he says, Mami Judge, you say, Papa Judge, please have mercy on me because I'm an orphan. You kill both of your parents, then you plead for mercy that you are an orphan. It's appeal to pity. Oh, doc, please, I couldn't do the IA. I said, okay, well, I think I must get an A in the course. You say, okay, why? He said, because if I don't get it, my mother will commit suicide. I'm the only child she has. I'm the only child she has. And she had to suffer to get this school fees, to come and pay my school fees. And now I'm going to get an F. If she hears about the F, she will commit suicide. Ah, so please have mercy and give me an A. Really? University? don't do that. It's appeal to pity. The reasons you're offering don't lead us to the conclusions. We'll look at stuff like that. Some will say, finish typing the letters before 12 noon. This is a boss to the secretary. Otherwise, consider yourself fired. Threat. You're threatening the person. The reason why she should finish typing is because you are the boss. If she doesn't finish, you will sack him. You don't do that with people. You are not reasoning well. If the person gets some good job to do, she will leave your job in the middle when you need her pan. But if you reason with people, engage people, show her, oh, if we could finish, we'll win the debate. And we also have to review it. So if you give it to us by 12, we should also do our bit before we meet the panel at 4. Help us here. Okay, let's all work. The lady may not even go for lunch for you and the institution. Because of one thing, even God says, come, let us reason together. Use small posts you got, especially the sisters like myself. When we get small posts, get the work done before this, or consider yourself fired. I'm the boss here. Really? The day you said I'm the boss, it shows that you were not. So these are different fallacious, from the word fallacy, fallacious ways of reasoning that will help you see ploys and rhetorical tricks commonly employed as tactics of what? Manipulation and persuasion. The whole statement there is just saying fallacies. Will expose you to fallacies, which is in Unit 10. The course delivery solely online for the 10 weeks, I suppose, that we have together. Apparently, DE says the first lecture should have been last week. I got the notice yesterday. So I don't know how that would have been. But what we'll do will be to plan and make up sometime, perhaps in the revision week or so, to help you if we need it at all. Okay. The tutor will assist to teach. Okay, we'll put slides there. I do that with all my lectures. I put the slides. I record the sessions we have together. Sometimes I give you recorded lecture uninterrupted by myself. I've done it. I put it there for you as reference. That is if the students are working hard, then I'll go that extra mile. If you are not working hard, there is no point adding to the content. Okay, so you would have to do your reading and go for your tutorial sessions. I think the tutor would take some of the slot. That's the arrangement for the 6 for lecturers and perhaps 4 for the tutors, making 10 weeks. Okay, I want you to have a prepared, active participation in the course. You see, I'm doing a lot of the talking today because it's introductory. Subsequent weeks won't be like that. If I come and you have nothing to say, I'm done. Okay, then we meet again. Then we meet again when the sessions are done well. Then we upload results as you gave us. Okay. But if you come already prepared, then we'll have an active session. As a question, you give a response. Where there's no clarity, I help you. And then we work that way. Okay. You can go to my channel there on the I think I put up that notice for some of you. So you can have preparatory lecture times ahead. The continuous assessment will be based on the weekly lessons. So by the 7th week together, you would have done your continuous assessment, 30 marks. That's it there, down there. Okay. Then the final exam, you will do it off-site fully. I hope. I'll confirm with your institution because of your different site venues, I don't want to stress you too much. But it is in your own interest to work hard in the course. Otherwise, offsite, but you won't do well. I don't want to see that. I want you to do very well. Get your A's and go. Let others come in as okay. So that will be the arrangement. The first two continuous assessment exercises will be essays, 10% each. I opened the first one in week 2, which should have been today. But because we are now starting, we'll do that the next week, God willing. And then it will be available for 1 week. It will be essay question type, okay, where you respond to a given question on the topics. Those topics will be either unit 1 or unit 2, not something further up there, okay? Then the other one in the following week. Each of them worth 10 marks, but the midterm and then the final exam will be multiple choice and short answer questions. So this is how your grading will look like if you're looking on the screen. 20% for the 2 essay type questions, which will be available a week each. And then midterm tests, which will be multiple choice and short answer questions, totaling 30. And then the final exam also. In all instances, friends, ensure you have a stable internet connection before you take the assessment, please, because reopening is not an option normally. The reason is if you tell us to reopen, now which other internet are you going to use? The same one that gave you problems. So if you know that you have a better option, use it and take your assessment. Don't have issues and then you ask us to reopen. It creates problems for the assessment, for your colleagues, for your own self, etc., etc. We don't want you to plagiarize, taking content that is not yours and pretending that it is yours. It's called stealing. If you take content that is not yours, maybe a line or I say a line, some words from someone, you put them in quotes, and then you reference where you took it from. That's how you do academic work. You don't go and download. I'm grading main campus essays. I've seen so far, I think for 500 students I've graded, I saw 10 pairs of plagiarized. In other words, 5 pairs, so 10 students. I pull one from same group, 10. The person that he or she worked with is in maybe group 51. They think they will not be seen. Sometimes even when you are reading, the thing if you're an academic by the grace of God, you can tell when you are reading that last you see, I've read this before. From so I start searching. Even if you don't want to use the Turnitin in plagiarism checker to identify them. I fish them out. So I'll pull your name and write, God forbid, but let me use someone on the screen. So let's say I see Angela Tete and maybe Ampon Emmanuel. Now I'll tell you, your work is a photocopy of Ampon Emmanuel and write 0 there. So you yourself, you won't come because under normal circumstances, we are supposed to let the university know about that. So we don't want you to do that, dear friends. Do independent work. You can discuss as colleagues and get an understanding of this if it's an essay question or the topic. I mean, you can do that, but you don't go and write the same thing. Just change paragraphs. The system will catch you. You see that your thing will be flagged red. Okay, then we will expose you. Very embarrassing. Don't do it. The required tests, I've spoken about that topic 1. So when you go through this, you see, by week 1, week 1 and 2, the first 2 weeks are supposed to deal with units 1 and 5.2. 5.2 is unit 5, section 2. These 2 should be covered within the first 2 weeks. What are the topics there? Taught as object of scrutiny, contrasting facts and values. Then the lessons for each topic outlined here. Introduction to critical thinking, review of course outline. See how much time is going into our review of course outline. Because I think when you know the whole skeleton, the frame, then when we are putting flesh to it, it's easier. By the time you know you have formed a fine human being standing there, okay? But if you don't know the frame, then you don't understand why we have taken some, clay we are going to put here. You don't know what are we doing. But what we are doing with course outline review is to give you the whole frame that we are working with. Then topic by topic, lesson by lesson, we fill in the hands, the heart, the body, and so on and so forth, till we have a full-formed human being, okay? So after a review of course outline, we distinguish types of sentence shape taught. We recognize sentence fragments, etc. So we read through all to the end after every week's session. Even in your preparation before the session, check the lessons. Have I covered, say, what is a sentence fragment? Do I know that? Can I distinguish declaratives from interrogatives? If it is not too clear to you and a discussion has been had on it, it's a good time to reference that, refer to it, or go to your textbook or check the slides. But do something, friends, because otherwise, we don't want too many people. Sometimes you won't feel as in research, but getting D and C. No, no, no. This is a course you can straightforwardly get an A to brighten your transcripts. Everyone wants a critical thinker in their institution. It's hot cake. You should be one that we can vouch for. University of Ghana says she is or he is a critical thinker. He can help you construct good statement, make good policies. He will raise critical questions that will improve, the decisions you are making at that church there, and so on and so. So the person will be marketable. If we go and see critical thing, now you say you did it's a pass, but it's not good. So we want you to do well. I'm telling you all that I think I'm able to help you with to do well. Week 3, then we look at definitions, verbal disputes, and substantive disagreement. That's the topic. These are the specific lessons for the topic. You should know connotation and denotation, the ways of defining. They are defining to a student group that are children. You don't do the same. Defining means making meaning. So you have learned your medicine, you have learned your stuff. So I go on to my my medical folks, okay, who are dealing with life. So we are always concerned about it. You want to tell the grandpa that you have this disease. Why do you start by saying you have scoliosis, whatever scoliosophocals of the pulmonary artery of the also called common cough? Why? You will kill the man with this your all technical expert language. If you know it is also a common cough, tell him that. Tell him you have a situation that we can relate to common cough, a cough, just that it has some few other additions. So we want to take care of you. But, you are saying the same thing. You're not lying to the grandpa. You're telling him the truth. But you are not talking to him as if he's your colleague at medical school. And we are trying to show who knows his stuff. You have to make meaning. That's the point I'm making. That's why we learn definitions. So if you are going to market a product to a certain group of people, it has to be targeted. If it is evangelism you are going to do, you will make impact when you target. If it is a youth event, you can't treat it like grandpa and grandma people or counselors, elderly folks session. If it is an economic policy, you're going to meet IMF. The language cannot be down to earth and easily accessible to everybody like that. No, you have to show your stuff. So there's a type of definition, meaning, approach that you must take. If you are dealing with the institutional language, if I'm talking law and I say the man's thing, how does it describe? Amicus curia or amicus whatever. It is not for you and I who are not lawyers to understand. It's a certain type of language. So each level, and then what the type, I say each level or each context and the type of definition to use. Okay. We see open textured and well-defined terms. We diagnose problems with definitions. I showed you the development is to develop the nation. There's something wrong with that way of giving meaning. You are just repeating yourself. You see the label for that, and so on and so forth. Then unit 3, which will be done in the 4th week, unit 3 and section unit 5.1 in that order. So you see, these are supposed to be the outline of each topic. It helps to guide you to know what you do, and then you are sorted. Any questions? So that was the course outline, which has been on your Sakai. Oh dear, yeah, shouldn't have stopped sharing. I have to take you to the resource tool quickly. Please, do you have any questions? It's a relatively quiet class. I hope that will be so for only today. Otherwise, subsequently, would have ended already. Now, still on your Sakai, and you can tell your friends also, you should also visit. See, we went to overview. You should visit announcement tools all the time. See the announcement I had sent you. As at 20th July, I sent you an introductory note and mentioned the textbook and all. As at the same 20th July, later on, I sent you a lecture link and then slides. Notice, I told you that I have sent you the link to a certain specific lecture, and I've also put slides at the resource tool for you. Then link to our lecture on Saturday, 5:30 p.m. I sent a notice to tell you. And then your TA Peter, a tutor Peter AJ also sent you WhatsApp group page link that I hope people have even seen at all and joined. And today, around 5:10 or so, that's it. I sent a reminder to the class. These are all announcements to help you. So if you went into this one, you would see the lecture one recorded session that I sent to you to help your preparation for today's discussion. Okay, even when you didn't have the textbook yet. Now that next will be the resource tool. Okay, inside, see the stuff I've put there for you. If you have seen it at all, okay, this was 2nd July. If I can see right here, this is 1st July. This is 22nd July, and this is 12th July. So you should look at lecture one. This is it, which we'll glance through moments from now. See, this one. That's what we'll work with today. The next will be, where's lecture two? Lecture two. Forget about the groups 10, 11, 50, 51. You can include yourselves there. It's for all the groups I'm engaging this semester. So I named it like that. But this is the next topic on definitions I saw on the course outline. And the next will be lecture three. Lecture three is a compilation of some units in unit 3 and unit 5, like I showed you. So the lectures involve sometimes more than one unit because they are connected. So don't come asking for lecture 4 and lecture 5 and lecture 6. If you see lecture 4, it might be on unit 5 and 6. Okay. The lectures are compiled versions of the units. The units guide you to know which topic and at what time. So from there, we will move to unit 6 now. You see that I use unit to help you. Between now and unit 6, we are talking about 5 weeks. So you should pause for now. The other half will come when we are good to go. So that is for your resource tool. What else did I put there? You will use the discussion tool. So just in case you didn't know, it is there. If there is a discussion question there, when you go, you see start conversation. You select the discussion question, and it will give you an option to start conversation. When you click on that, there will be a text box available for you to type in your response. Then you coin a title from the question that has been given to you, put it up there, and you submit. Don't send emails asking how to do to submit your work. That's why I've taken time, lecture time, to do that, so that your life will be easier. This will be the assignment tool where you will do your assignment. The first assignment, 10%. It will be at the assignment tool. Okay, where is it? Here. But the second one will be at the discussion tool. It will be an assignment to be at the discussion tool. Take note of that and do them so that you put your marks down. Then the midterm and the final exam will be at test and quizzes, which I'm sure you are familiar with now. Assessment at time and test and quizzes are always timed. So if you are working there, you have to make sure you are working with a good internet. And I think those should be enough. The email I've given you for the course is Nancy Miles, UGRC 150. That will help me be prompt when you have queries. You take it to all my other emails that you know. I will see them anyway, but I may not be as prompt as I would if I'm dealing with UGRC 150 issues, given the numbers and the different concerns students have. Any questions, please? Okay, so we can now go to the lecture slides proper. I want someone to engage. May I know how many of you saw the slides that I posted on the Sakai resource tool? Please raise your hand if you did. Okay, thank you, Samuel Danso. I see Lena Sodonko. I see Wendy Good, Ampon. Keep the hands up if you saw it. I'm trying to take an estimate. Okay, John, if you are not, very good. Okay, please drop your hands now. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now I want to find out how many also saw the recorded, not the slides, but the recorded lecture proper. Okay, I sent you a recording that I don't know if I have to say. I showed you a recorded discussion on lecture 1. Only 2 of you saw that. Please keep your hand up if you saw it. I see only 3 hands. Not good enough. Nobody else saw the recorded lecture. It's still there. So when you go to your announcement tool, select that announcement I gave you that is titled Lecture 1 Recording and Link. Please, and engage it. Your questions are already set. So when I tell you everything, kindly do that so that you do well for me. Now I want someone to read our slides for us so we explain, and then we'll be done in no time. Keep your hand up if you want to read, please. Okay, so no one wants to read, then we'll go through as it is. So the critical thinker is supposed to ensure, like I said, when we're walking ourselves through the course outline, that they can vouch for the conclusion they are drawing before they accept it or reject it. A critical thinker should be concerned about how well his or her beliefs are being supported to avoid fallacies. I touched on analysis, ensuring that you can analyze, which means break down matters into smaller constituent parts and evaluate and judge correct from incorrect reasoning. The aim ultimately, if you are looking on my screen alongside, then I think you should do fine. The aim ultimately is to help solve practical problems of existence. The only reason why we aim at thinking critically and reasoning practically is to equip us with tools and methods and principles, techniques, skills that will help us to think critically, sometimes logically or empirically. The word logic there just means you are looking at the language the person is speaking to make an assessment and draw a conclusion. So logical truths do not depend on observation. It's in the language. Think of them as what? Deductions. Whilst empirical truths are based on observation, or they are what? Inductive. On my screen now, I will need someone to read, please, to help you. If you don't read, I finish early. So I'm just helping you here. So please, let's cooperate quickly. I need someone to read. Put up your hand if you want to read. Okay, so we move on. There are examples to show you up there, if you are looking. Some of the flagged statement, those that have been flagged red, are all problematic uses of language. We also saw in our introduction that critical thinking is topic neutral. It's neutral to the topic. That's why we move from medicine to religion to business, marketing, what have you. Everyone in those fields will do critical thinking. We think critically about matters, regardless of the discipline in question. Why should we be critical thinkers? It helps us make better decisions because we are not gullible. See, you don't swallow everything that is coming. When they say it, oh, okay, then you do. No. A critical thinker asks questions. Even in faith, they ask questions so they can have reasoned faith. A critical thinker is an effective communicator. It's an invaluable problem solver. Why? What about critical thinking makes the person an invaluable problem solver? You can anticipate what the person's concern is. And two people are content. Look at what is happening with Russia and Ukraine. What is the concern? Diagnosis, a proper diagnosis will show. Look at Iraq and the Palestine area. This unending war, potentially an actual war that has existed since time immemorial. There has to be a proper diagnosis of what the issue is. Sometimes we feel that we can just veto to solve it. Look at the top of Ghana, upstairs in Ghana. It seems to be gone. Then before long, the problem shoots up again. There are family disputes that have never disappeared because the diagnosis is the problem. How we are diagnosing the problem is actually the problem. It won't go. You can't, into me bro, you see that. You can't be beaten and then they stop you from crying also. And then they say there's peace. That can't be. See, so sometimes perhaps if we had some good critical thinking going into the matter, and then we are preferring practical responses, then we may be able to do away with them. A critical thinker is equipped with skills to do that. So on your screen, see that you'll be an analytic. You develop analytic skills, evaluative skills, communication skills, open-mindedness. You are not easily, swayed. That's the point we are making. You are not arrogant at all. You are always hoping to hear an alternative view. Oh. You don't pretend to know it all. You don't even assume that what you know is the ultimate. That's the posturing of a mind that is critical. Okay? The same thing is captured differently here. So you are able to present your concepts with clarity. You speak effectively. I've said that more than 3 times. Why? Before the person speaks, he or she can anticipate what the possible questions are. He himself is a question asker, someone who asks questions. So when you are speaking, you can anticipate that if I were the one sitting down, I would have asked this question. And so you go a step ahead to bring clarity. That is what makes effective speaking. That's why you can be a good consultant to people, even though you are not a lecturer or a professional in that field, but you can help the person. You can tell the one presenting the statement, public address, you say, you don't say it this way. If you say this, you don't have a way out. If you say it this way, you can offend so and so person. If you say it this way, you are safe. 20% of or 90, most so and so are corrupt. Most lecturers are corrupt. Say it that way. You're always safe. If every lecturer comes at you, say, but I said most. I didn't say all. When I say most, why are you forcing yourself to be part of them? I said 90% of politicians are corrupt. Nobody can hold you because he said 90%. The person who will come and ask you, why are you saying we are corrupt? You can tell the person, oh, but I said 90%. Why do you want to be part of the 90 by force? You can be part of the 10 and you are safe. Okay, it's language. So all we are saying is a critical thinker is an effective speaker, and you are able to improve your skills of speech. All right, now we are good to go. I said something about this sentences that shape our thought. When we speak, it is our thought that is captured into sentences, right? And so you are minded to say what you mean and mean what you say. I've said all of that in our introduction on the course outline. Why should I trust what you are saying now if you did not mean what you said earlier? So if you come and say, oh, I didn't mean it, this is the question I'll ask you. What is in red over there? Now we can go directly to the content. So recognizing sentence fragments, etc., etc. Question 1. I say question 1. Now, if I asked you, where is your mother? You will give me an information. Because you will give me an information, it means that what I asked intended for information. Where is your mother? But in Ghana, when we say, where is your mother? Then people go into their room and they're going to call their mother. Oh, mommy, why? Then you ma. I didn't say call your mother for me. I said, where is your mother? Asking for information. Tell me, my mommy is in the room. I may say, okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Or I'm coming, you know. But if I say call her for me, then you have read my intention well if you went into the room and called your mother. What we are doing with that topic is to show you sentences that shape our thought. When we speak, it is our thought that is captured into language. So our speech is an act already. If I say stand up on the screen now, raise your hand, take off your cap. These are all described as what? Imperatives. It is telling you to do, perform an action. So when you hear it, you do. Therefore, every expression that expects you to do, to perform an action, is imperative. Now, sometimes we don't tell you directly. So see on the screen, number 4, we don't tell you directly to do. We ask you to do. So it's as if I'm asking a question, but it is not genuinely seeking for information, like was the case in this earlier slide. Look on your screen now, okay? Here, if I said, is it raining at Legon? You will tell me, yes, it is raining, or no, it is not raining, because I'm looking for information. If I say, pass me the checkbook, you will do something, you say anything. I'm not asking for information. So you pass, you do it or not do it. It's an action that I want from you. So if you read my intention well, then you will know that example 4 now on our screen, imperatives, is just like what? Example 3. Could you direct me to the library? It came with a question mark. But hello, that is not a question. Genuinely, it is not a genuine question. It's an imperative. It presents itself explicitly as a question, but it is implicitly an imperative. It's telling you to do, but it is done politely. I need you to see those two different types of linguistic expressions: sentence shaped thought, speech act. Okay, the same way of expressing one thing differently. We are expressing the same thing in different ways. They are called speech acts. They are called sentence shaped thoughts. I told you it is our thought thinking, a thought that is captured into sentences. So when I say it, you are able to use what I said to read my thoughts. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. What is abundant in your heart is what comes out. That's Bible. Now put mind at the place of heart, and you see that you say what is in your mind is what you are projecting through your mouth. So if I say stand up, I am able to get into your mind. When you say stand up, I say, oh, his intention is that I should stand. Then I get up. So sentences that shape our thought, speech acts, or you can still call them linguistic expressions. And we have seen one. The first one was interrogative, the one that seeks information from me. So if you hear it, you offer a response that is what? Informatory. Either you give a positive response or a negative one. Did Kojo travel? Yes, Kojo did travel. No, Kojo did not travel. That is a genuine question. Where is the teaching assistant? Oh, he is online currently. You give information. So it's an interrogative. The second one was imperative. Which one is that? Call the class rep for me. Pass me the checkbook. Then I introduced another way of doing imperatives, which presents itself as if it's a question, but really it is not genuinely a question. So explicitly a question. Explicit means openly, overtly. These are on your textbook. Openly, it suggests that it's a question. See how it comes beautifully adorned with a question mark, but it is not genuinely a question. Okay, so implicitly, it is what? Telling you to do. If I told you, could you direct me to the HOD's office? Obviously, you will not look at me and say, yes, I could. Could you pass me the checkbook, please? Could you keep quiet? I want to hear the president. Would you say, yes, I could keep quiet? No, you will just shut up if you are reading my intentions well. Therefore, there could be implicit and explicit meanings of expressions. That means an expression that seems to suggest that it is saying something, and yet it could also mean something else. As a critical mind, we want you to be aware of that. So that if someone said, should you be sitting whilst talking to your father? That will come with a question mark. But you are not being asked to give an information. All these are questions I'm asking folks, left, right, center. You are being told to do. That mommy or auntie that is sitting there is telling you, get up when your father is talking to you. But she's just being polite. Maybe you are all grown now, you're also a father yourself, taking care of a home, or you're a boss, or the setting is not appropriate, or even if all of that doesn't apply, she just wants to respect you. You have to read her intention. You see, I'm sorry, can you hear me now? That she will say it that way because she wants to be polite. So you should be able to read the intention of that speaker. So that is imperative. Any question, please? Can I have any one of you give me an example of an expression that you can call imperative, apart from what is on my screen? Let me see if you are following. Any imperative at all? Quick, please. Any imperative? Wow. You
Follow
cannot give
me.
an imperative? Alfred?
Ma'am,
Yes, go ahead.
follow me.
Follow me. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I saw another hand. Jessica, please.
Hello,
Then
Doc.
Alan Tete. Yes, Alan Tete, go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you, Alan. Go ahead. Yeah, Jessica, go ahead.
Take the food for me. Can it be an example?
Very good. Very good. Take the food for me. Did you see the tap? What can then? Did you see the door open? You know, that did you see the door open? Can be a genuine question. It could also be an imperative. Say you know, so that is why we are not teaching you English, or we are not engaging an English, we are engaging logic, critical thinking, going into the mind from what is being said. So for oh, Lennox, go ahead. Sorry, Lennox, don't call. Please go ahead. You are muted, sir. So you want to unmute first.
Okay.
Yes,
Would
sir.
you wash the dishes now?
Excellent. That's a typical example of one that is explicitly interrogative. That's seeming to be asking a question, but actually not asking a question, telling you to do. Okay, very good. So Alan, please bring yours up. You are muted also, so if you could unmute first, then we'll move on. Alan Tete, say, go ahead. You are muted, oh. Okay, so we move on quickly. So we've done interrogative. The first speech act was interrogative. And then the second is imperative. And at imperative, we quickly chipped in explicit and implicit meanings. When we study factual statement, value, judgment, etc., you see that one expression could be factually something, and it could be factual and value judgment. You will see a lot of overlaps. So I just want to establish that principle for now, so that you don't think that it will always be one or the other. There can be overlaps where that one expression could be both, or could present itself as if it's something and yet it is another at the same time. Okay, so it's a principle that you should just take for now so that you don't get yourself worked up. Now we go to the third type. So we've seen interrogative, imperative. This is declarative. Declaratives have a truth value. They have all these several names: statement, proposition, assessment, excuse me, assertion. A declarative is a statement, it is a proposition, it's assertion. They are all one way of referring to the same thing, you see. So when do we call a sentence a statement? When is a sentence imperative? Well, if it's imperative, then it is telling me to do something. When do we say it's interrogative? If it's interrogative, then it's asking me to give information. But when then is it declarative? Declarative statement or declaratives tell you, they give you information. They don't seek information like interrogatives would do. They rather give you information. That is why they have a truth value, because the information that I'm giving you can be either true or false. Okay, so it is only declaratives, which are also called statements or propositions or assertions, that have what? A truth value. That simply means they alone bear truth. They are truth bearers. Declaratives are true. If I say, where is your mother? You won't say true. How old are you? You will not say false, because I'm not saying something that has a truth value for you to respond true or false to it. Okay. Stand up, you will not say true. If I'm falling down the staircase, God forbid, and I say, Ajay, you will not say true or false to Ajay. It's an emotion being expressed. We'll get that. We'll get there shortly. Okay. So it is only declaratives that tell you something, inform you, and therefore the information could be either true or false. Ghana has a new Speaker of Parliament. That is informative. A bachelor is sitting under the tree. That is informative. She is a good friend. That is informative. So it is a declarative. We are studying critical thinking now.
Hello?
Informative. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello, sir. I hear hello. I don't know if it is us. So I don't see a hand up. If it is an error, then I bleed us all. So you can have your call. Okay, so I'm just saying that it is only declaratives that can be either true or false. That's the third type of sentence.
Hello?
Could you kindly put up your hand if you want to, because I can't see who. Someone, is it?
Can't hear anything.
Can anybody hear me, please? Kindly unmute your mic and respond if you can hear me.
Madam, we can hear you.
Yeah, madam, we can hear you.
Mama can hear you. I think Lenos is having
hear
a
you.
challenge.
Okay, so Lenos, what you should do is to get an earphone if you can, okay, and connect it to your gadget or increase the volume on your gadget. That will be very helpful to you, because I'm shouting my head off, really. The recordings, we are recording also, so we hope to share that in addition to what was shared earlier to your announcement to help you. Okay, so check your gadget. And then if you want to get my attention, you raise your hand. It helps us, okay, so that I can see you. I don't know who. So sometimes I feel that maybe you are picking your own call or something, and then so then I may want to ignore. Okay, so let's see how it goes if you get yourself a gadget. Right. So the third one was declaratives. Don't forget, we'll engage declaratives shortly, because there are three types of declaratives. But for now, just remember we've done interrogative, imperative, declarative, and we are moving on to sentence fragment. When you are given a part of a sentence, it is not complete. So if it is incomplete.
Can't hear anything. No.
It is incomplete, so
No sound.
it is incomplete. Then please someone help him. If you know him, can you call him and tell him what he can do? Because if he can't hear anything, then he won't even hear that we are prompting him on how he should go about. If he's on the WhatsApp platform, someone call his phone, please, and help him out. Thank you. All right. So that's sentence fragment, where it is an incomplete sentence. So I often ask students, if I said, give me rice and stew, from what we've said so far, the types of sentence-shaped thoughts we've learned. If I said, give me rice and stew, which type of sentence-shaped thought will it be? I want a chorus answer. So you can all unmute and talk. I'm trying to check the temperature of the class. Give me rice and stew. What is it? Is it imperative, interrogative, or declarative? All of us. I heard a fear now. I want to hear everyone, please. I'm assessing the class, oh, friends. So far, it's not good. One or two shining here. I said, I want a chorus answer, please. So kindly unmute. I see Jessica. I see Abigail Sian. I see Fiana, Alfred, Ampo Emmanuel, who is having a little challenge. Angela Tete, John Moke, Lennox Odonko. No, it was Lennox rather that is having a challenge. Okay. And then Obed AC, Samuel Danso, Wendy. May I know your interpretation or what type of sentence shape thought you think this expression will be? And I said, give me rice and stew. What is it?
Madam, imperative.
Imperative. Imperative. Very good.
Imperative.
It's an imperative.
Yo. Now, if I wanted this imperative to read as an interrogative, now I want one person to answer that. To read as an interrogative. I know where you place that. Interrogative. So if I gave you, give me rice and stew, we all know that is imperative, but I wanted it to read as interrogative. What can it look like? Someone help us. Okay, Abigail Siam, thank you.
Can you give me rice and stew?
Very good. Now, we all can tell that is asking, but it could also be telling. So this could have an explicit meaning and an implicit meaning. Can you, as in, are you able to give it? Or can you, as in, respectfully give me? You remember our explicit and implicit. Okay, so that's good. Can someone else give us one that is clearly interrogative without ambiguity? So let's see if we can take, thank you, Abigail. Can we take Emmanuel now? Emmanuel Ampon. Genuinely interrogative.
Madam, as to the same question, I should frame different one.
No, the same question, sir. The same thing. So from give me rice and stew, let's make it read as if it is an interrogative.
Would you mind giving me rice and stew?
Thank you. I would have said, I would have added, where is the rice and stew? Simple. Where he? I'm on the way. Oh, I'm on the friend where he. Where is the rice and stew? More flow. Or him fact. I'm on a friend where he. You see, I'm seeking for information. Where is it? So that there is no ambiguity whatsoever. Very good. Then what if I wanted to rephrase this same expression to read as a statement? That's a declarative where it is informative. Can anyone help us? Then we are done with Unit 1, first half of Unit 1. Anybody, please, quickly. The same hands. Oh, please, let's make the class active. Oh, this is relatively a smaller class. I was expecting more. Have you listened to any of the recordings online? Hey, you don't get hands crowd. You are not even able to call everyone. The class is always active. This is rather a relatively smaller class. I was expecting that we'll have a more active. Maybe today is the first time. So let's see. Alfred, sir, go ahead.
I have rice and stew in my fridge.
Good. That's an excellent one. It's informative. Maybe there's nothing there. But when we go and there's nothing there, then what Alfred told us is false. When we go and something then it's rice and stew, then what he said is true. Okay. So he has given us an expression, a statement, a declarative, something that can be either true or false. Thank you very much. Then we got to a fragment. So I was using the rice and stew bit to show you that if I said, give me rice and stew, we will say it's imperative. Where is the rice and stew? We'll say it's interrogative. The rice and stew is very delicious. We'll say it's declarative. But what if we just said rice and stew? Like we are saying in example 2 on the screen, rice and stew. What did he do? What has rice and stew done? It's incomplete. Depending on how you complete it, it could be imperative, declarative, or interrogative, like we have just seen. So we say if you just write rice and stew, it's a fragment. See on your screen. It's a part of a sentence. Incomplete. Well done. Then finally, the final one is what? Emotive expression. Like the one I said, Aje, Hey, who do you think you are? And I say, hey, who do you think you are? I don't say, oh, I'm a child of God. I'm not looking for information. Whoever is saying, who, sometimes it's even explicit, who the hell do you think you are? With a question mark. Be careful not to interpret that as a question and be looking for answer to give. If you are driving and someone, you mistakenly cross someone, the person gets and say, hey, what do you think you are doing? No, Sunday, oh, I'm trying to cross and join you. That is, you are reading the intention wrong. You better start moving. If you can beg or something, move. But stay away. The person is expressing emotion. He's not asking for answers. It's not a genuine question. Okay. So we want you to know that. So this is wow, brilliant, awesome, bravo, what a goal. You know, all those things are emotions. So you should be able to distinguish emotions from what fragments, from declaratives, from imperatives and interrogatives. And these are building blocks to our assessments. When we start doing our assessment, our evaluation, our analysis, critical analysis, our diagnosis of problems, our deductive and inductive reasoning, our fallacies that we are going to examine and all that, we need to have built a strong working foundation of our language. That's what we are starting to do. So these are the ingredients for our Banku and Oko stew that we are going to prepare. Okay. Now, the second part of Unit 1 will deal with types of declaratives. There are 3 types of declaratives. In other words, there are 3 ways of giving information, which can be either true or false. Remember, it's only declaratives, which are also called statements. Only they can be either true or false. We said that already. There are 3 types of declaratives. There are factual statements on your screen, value judgment highlighted, and then definitions. Where is definitions? And then definitions. Okay, there are 3 types. So I go back to the top there. See them. Factual statement, value judgment, and definitions. Then we start with factual statement. Sometimes when I give you a statement, you and I, users of the language, if we use that language together, we can objectively agree on the truth or falsity of that statement. Objective means we may have different cultural background, different faiths, we may even have different levels of whatever, education, etc., etc. But we can objectively agree. It means that we all see it, we all hear it, we all touch it, we all taste it or smell it. Our 5 senses come to play to help us ascertain the truth or falsity of that statement. That kind of statement which has objective truth and does not depend on the subjective point of view of those observing. It doesn't depend on us. It is just the nature of what we are dealing with, are the ones we call factual statement. If I say Amma is a girl, it's a factual statement. If we observe and Amma has the features that we call a girl, it's true. If we observe and she doesn't, it is false. Take note that I may be saying she's a girl based on what I'm seeing. She may not actually be a girl. That would be factually false, but it's still a statement of fact. It's factual. I just want to establish that. Okay. The car knocked down the boy. Maybe the car didn't knock down the boy. Okay. How do we know? By observation, factually, with our 5 senses, to describe what we saw, heard, touched, or tasted. So Nancy will see something. That is what Alfred, what are the names? Alfred will see, or Abigail will see. The point then is factual statements have objective truth. Amma is a girl. Today is Friday. Nanado is the current president of Ghana. Ghana is going to IMF. Maybe we haven't gone. Maybe we have. If we have gone, then it is factually true. If we haven't gone, then it is factually false. But either way, it is a factual statement. It means observation will establish whether what I said is true or false. That's the factual statement. It's a type of statement. It's a type of declarative. There are other types of declarative. They all are saying something that is either true or false. But how you establish their actual truth or falsity is what we are dealing with. So factual statements have objective truth. They describe what is out there. It is raining now at Legon. That is factually true or factually false. But it's a factual statement. If I went to Legon and it is raining, truly, truly. by observation, then what the person said is true. If I went there and it is not raining, then it is false. So take note. Remember, Amma is a girl. A factual statement. Now, the second type of value judgment is what? The second type of statement is value judgment. Amma is a beautiful girl. Now, when I said Amma is a girl, if we are all observing, we will use observation to ascertain the truth or falsity of that statement. But if I say Amma is a beautiful girl, then that does not depend on observation any longer. That is my point of view versus your point of view. I may say Amma is a beautiful girl, and it will be true to me. For you, that will be false. Because of the word beauty that we have introduced. Beauty is not in the object. It is in the one seen. And I tell students every day, that's why some sister is dying over a fearfully made brother. Or a brother is dying over a fearfully made sister. You know, the Bible says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. But some people see beauty. You are showing your friend the beautiful girl you are dating now on your phone, and he looks at your phone and he doesn't see beautiful, but you do. Beauty is not in the object. So when I say Legon campus is very beautiful, it depends on who is speaking. For someone, really, oh, this is not beautiful. For another person, that is beautiful. They are making a statement. Why? Because the expression can be either true or false. But the statement has subjective truth. It depends on the subject speaking. That's why it is a judgment. We call it a value judgment. Compare that with saying Amma is a girl. Amma is a girl is not a value judgment. It is a factual statement, which can be factually true or factually false. Amma is a beautiful girl. It's still a statement. In other words, a declarative, an expression that can be either true or false. Yes. But which type is it? It is a value judgment. So if I said the wicked driver knocked down the innocent boy, see how a journalist can introduce these value judgments into her report. You are supposed to tell us what you saw. A car knocked down a boy. Look at example 3. That is a factual, reporting of what you observed. You went to the election place. This is what you saw. You tell us. Don't put value judgment into it. You reduce the degree of objectivity in the analysis we are making. And if you're a critical mind too, then you should also detect when the panelist speaking on the thing is saying, oh, this corrupt government is this. Corrupt is not in the object that you are discussing. It is in the person speaking's point of view relative to the object. See that? So someone is saying a certain lady is impolite. And that impolite is because the girl will not allow him to hit his back when she's passing. If you hit her buttocks, she'll turn and slap you and tell you, respect yourself, say. So that is what someone calls impolite. Another person too is a security man at a bank entrance. When you are passing by, you are in a hurry to pick your cash and go home. He wants to chat, which is fine, but maybe you are busy. You have to meet a deadline. So, oh, hello, my sister. And I said, so thank you, please. Can I have access to the hall? They say, hey, that is your interpretation of something. It's a value judgment. It does not necessarily represent the facts out there. So value judgments are those declaratives or those statements which are not describing what is out there. See what factual statement do? Factual statement describe, like decoding. Value judgments on the screen, please keep looking. Prescribe. It's a prescription. Before you look, you already had a view in mind. Okay, you're right. Eh? It's a prescription. Keep it on, but mute it so that it doesn't hurt. It's a prescription or evaluation of what you think should be the case. That's value judgment, not what is the case. Okay, so that's the second type. That's why the wicked driver knocked down the innocent boy. It's a prescription of what is out there. Any questions? I see Abigail's hand. Is it a question or the second one? Okay, Alan Tete, go ahead with your question, please.
Uh, I wanted to ask whether rhetorical questions and
Yeah,
should you would classify that when we were describing the imperatives, and I wanted to ask.
exactly. Yes. We will discuss in Unit 3. The slides are there. Maybe if you go ahead, you'll see what we call polemical rhetoric or rhetorical polemics. That is where you put rhetorical questions. Like, why at all did we even vote for this? People, when people speak that, they are not asking for genuine answers, but they are being rhetorical. Okay. For topic 1, if you said who at all, what you would call a rhetorical question could fall under emotive expressions, depending on how the person spoke. But when we get to Unit 3, then we'll have polemical rhetorics or rhetorical polemics proper, where you can capture such strong emotive expressions that are not looking for answers. They are questions, but they are not looking for answers. But so far, the ones we did up there, where you saw who the hell do you think you are and stuff like that, then they qualify as emotive expressions. Yeah. Let me take a, I hope it's okay, sir. Let me take Abigail's here, or
Yes, sir.
it's an old.
Yes, madam.
Yes, please. Thank you. Abigail, please, your hand is still up. Is it the earlier hand? Then we can move on. You're almost done, eh? Okay. So that was value judgment. See the contrast. When it was a factual statement, the person says, the car knocked down the boy. Amma is a girl. The president is taller than his opponent. These are all factual matters. If I said the current president is taller than his opponent, the former president, that would be factually false, but it's a factual statement. I don't care how we relate, the party I belong to or where I come from and all the dynamics that we have in Ghana here. This is an objective matter. By observation, we are able to ascertain and describe what is there through the senses. That's what makes it factual. You can't say because I'm closer to our current president and he's my grandfather, therefore he has become taller than JDM, of the former president. Neither can you also say that, see, look at the second one. If I had said, where is it? If I had said, the current, example 6, please look on your screen, example 6, the president is more corrupt than his opponent. That is not a factual statement. So understand the language. It's not a factual statement. It's a value judgment. It depends on who is speaking for the truth or falsity. So if I were so and so party member, then this would be what? True to me, maybe. But for another person, that is false. And no one is right and no one is wrong, objectively speaking. Okay, that's the whole point about value judgment. Why do you need to know that as a critical mind? So that you are minded when you want to draw conclusions based on what you heard or you saw or read somewhere. You should be careful, dear friends, when we read narratives that have been put up by a certain institution, so supposedly professional institution, making statements about our economy, about our people, about this. You have to interrogate things. You're a critical mind. Otherwise, COVID would have swallowed all of us up in Africa here. But look at us, you see. So some of the statements are, yes, claims of truth. So they bear truth. It can be either true or false. So they are statements, they are declarative, they are assertions, propositions. But some may be factual statements, others may be value judgments, and some are even what? Definitions. And that takes us to let me go quickly to the third type, definitions, where you are actually giving meaning to a word and how we should use it. Okay. So if you are looking at the third type of declarative, that is definition. Declarative, first one was factual statement, second one was value judgment, and we are getting ourselves introduced to definitions. Definitions just show you how to use the word. Okay. Let me see if you can work this out. So please write down these 3 statements if you can from where you are seated. First one, a bachelor has a good conscience. I think I have it on the slide somewhere. So it can help you check. No. Okay. Let me just mention them. You want to check whether you know definitions and you can distinguish that type of statement from the value judgment, and you can distinguish that also from what's the first one? Factual statement. And I think we can end with that one. Okay. So write it down. A bachelor is sitting under the tree. That's the first one. A bachelor is sitting under the tree. Example 1. Example 2. A bachelor is an unmarried adult male. A bachelor is an unmarried adult male. The example 3. A bachelor has a good conscience. A bachelor has a good conscience. Okay. So now let's quickly check. How would you describe the first one? A bachelor is sitting under the tree. Is it factual, value judgment, or definition, please? All of us, quickly. A bachelor is sitting under the tree. Is it a factual statement, value judgment, or definitions?
It's a factual statement.
It's a
Very good.
factual statement.
Factual. Very good. Sometimes I ask for the chorus answer so that if we get it wrong, some of us get it wrong, then we can hear our colleagues. But you see that you all answered right. So it's good. The second one says, a bachelor is an unmarried adult male. Please, how would you define? What type of declarative would that be? All of us.
Definition.
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 Yes, please.
Very good. If you are Alan, Tete, and Jessica, I heard all of you. Definition. Well done. Then the third one, obviously, which say bachelor has a good conscience, would be what, all of us.
Value judgment.
Value
Judgment.
judgment.
It's a very good. Very good. Because of the value term good, you're able to see that that is a value judgment. Well done. So I want to end here and prompt that when we meet, God willing, next week, I'm expecting that you would have engaged the whole recording today, and we just have 2 slides left, even though we were supposed to do this in 2 weeks. If you do your reading ahead, then we will not spend too much time like this. You will do very fine, and then you score your perfect A's and go ahead. Is there any question, please? Alan Tete, your hand shot up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. I wanted to find out, whenever you are writing a statement or making a statement, the moment you bring in an adverb,
Yes.
does it automatically make it a value judgment? Because
Okay,
the adverb
I get you.
add more
Yes.
meanings or
I get you. So let me quickly go there. I get that question a lot. I think we could have elaborated a bit more. So see, it's not every adjective that makes it a value judgment. I've scrolled to factual statements. See, example 2, the president is taller than his opponent. Taller. It's also an adjective. Tall.
yeah.
But this taller is not a subjective matter. You can't say that me, or sometimes even colors. You can't say all these things are value judgment. So I'm driving and then a traffic light shows red. But me, I think what I see there is green because it's all subjective. So I'm driving on because green means go. The thing shows red. You say me, I think it's green. That's how I see it. Drive on it. But the person will be obituary. You see, it's an objective matter. So even though it's a quality taller than, shorter than, she's wearing a white dress. You can't say because the guy left you and went to marry her, so her dress is no longer white. You do you think it's green? No. So here's white, taller, shorter. They are all adjectives, and yet they are objective. If you speak the language, you know what white is. If you don't know it, we'll use definitions the third time to give you meaning. But if I had said Yaya is more beautiful than your former wife, beautiful is also an adjective, I think, but that one is not objective. It depends. If this lady has come to take the joy of my life like this, you see she's beautiful. Me, I don't see beautiful. What I think beautiful is long hair. Another person thinks beautiful is short hair, and so on. So that one is also an adjective, but that one has a value connotation to it. That's the difference. So not all adjectives in a statement make them value judgment. Okay. I hope that helps.
Yes, madam.
All right. Thank you very much. Please, is there another question? Abigail's hand has been up for a while. Abi, please, if it's not a question, and I suppose it is not, then we are sold. I don't want to take too much of your time. Thank you, Abigail. Thank you, Jessica, everyone. Alfred, thank you for reading for us. We'll meet, God willing, same time next week.
Thank you too,
And
ma'am.
I will expect
Thank
that
you.
you've done some reading. Then we'll do fine. I wish you all the best. I'll send this recording to you, to you on Sakai. If you find something additional from it that you can add to the other recording, then that's all well and good. All the best and
Madam,
take care. Yes,
Madam,
please.
how do you get it? Those who are far away from Accra.
Okay, so your tutor, Mr. Peter J, has created a platform. What's a platform for you?
Okay.
Contact him. Let us get the number and the
Okay.
places. We will see how we can assist you to get the readings.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much and take care.
You're welcome.